Peace. This is Phoenix Black, the Black Health Advocate with Heal Black People. And we're getting ready to start the live stream. I just wanted to show everyone where you can find me on social media. Peace, family. Tonight we are going to be briefly discussing how to get motivated and, most importantly, stay motivated when you're on your health journey. I don't like to call it a weight loss journey. I almost said it though. I don't like to call it a weight loss journey. I like to call it a health journey because I truly believe that you have to get healthy to lose weight rather than losing weight to get healthy. So just whenever you make up your mind or you feel like you're at a place like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of this, of being not feeling my best, not eating my best, not sleeping my best, everything that I'm not doing right. I want to make some changes. And that's one thing about when it comes to when you make up your mind, okay, I'm going to commit myself to losing weight, getting healthier, eating clean, whatever I need to do, managing stress. That's one thing you have to have is a made up mind. It starts with a made up mind first, because if you don't have a made up mind that you want to finally take off the, pounds or whatever. And I'm saying take off the pounds, but just please understand, I want to emphasize that there's a process to that. And especially when you get to be a certain age, like me, I'm going to be 39 this year. Don't expect things to start happening overnight. It's going to be a process because as they say, we didn't gain the weight overnight, so we're not going to lose it overnight either. So it's really important just to really just make getting healthy your main focus. And I really want people to understand that obesity and being overweight, there's a lot of factors that factor into it. It's the old paradigm of consuming less calories than you burn is outdated. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of people that subscribe to that paradigm, but that is a very outdated paradigm that really no longer applies, especially the society and the way it is today with the things that we're exposed to, the marketing. Just last week, I was talking about, the last episode, I was talking about food deserts and things of that nature. So I just really want to emphasize, with this whole live stream and the upcoming podcast as well, that it's, what leads to being overweight and obesity. There's multiple factors in it. It's multifactorial. It's not just one thing. And on that note, let's start tonight's episode, which is just motivation, simply motivation. Okay. And I apologize for the audio on the last episode. I figured out what was going on at that time. I'm glad I fixed it. Hopefully it's fixed. If it's not, and you're in the chat room watching me now, please let me know if it doesn't sound right to you, because that really helps me during it. The last episode, I know I had to basically kind of edit out because there was a lot of reverb in the last episode. I had to basically try my best to edit that out and just re-upload it. But if I know that while the live stream is actually going on, I can fix it right then and there. So if you ever hear or see that things look weird, let me know. But the first thing I want to emphasize is the importance of just valuing your body enough to want to take care of it. A lot of times I find that we place higher priority on other things like having a car, an expensive handbag, as it says here, designer shoes, the latest technology. There's so many other things that we're willing to invest more and prioritize more than our own bodies and our own health. I mean, at the end of the day, you only get one body to take care of. And, if that's not motivation enough right there, that you only get one body and, your family, your significant other, you should value them enough to want to take care of you. Because if one thing for sure is that if you're not taking care of yourself adequately, you can't be the best you to the other people that are important to you in your life. You can't be the best wife or the best mother or the best sister, friend, brother, and this applies to men too. If you're not willing to invest in yourself first, then you can't really give much you can still give. Don't get me wrong, you can still, give, to your heart's content, but I'm just saying you're not going to be operating close to, I would say, 100% if you're not taking care of your body on a physical level. and also in your, and mentally as well. But a lot of those go hand in hand because when you're not taking care of yourself physically, it does trickle into your well-being and how you feel mentally. So keep that in mind as well as we proceed here. The next thing we're going to get into is no more excuses. And again, it goes back to having a made up mind. And I know, like I said, trust me, I'm a single mom. I work full time. And one time I was even going to school full time. So I know that, the day to day task and the day to day life period, it seems like how in the hell I'm going to manage to fit in, trying to work out or trying to, maybe prepare meals in advance and everything else. And when all I can say to that really, when there's a will, there's a way. When you have a made up mind and you're just tired of your current condition, you have to find the motivation in that to want to change. But all starts with your mind and your mindset, because nobody can make you, I can talk all day. I can have 50 million episodes about, underlying causes and things that you can address to lose weight. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the motivation to seek out the information, to do your own research, to start applying the things that I'm discussing within the episode, within these next few episodes and, past ones as well, then if you're not willing to apply that, then it's kind of, you're going to have a rough time, basically. You have to just be, you have to find that motivation within yourself, basically. Okay, and since today is Tuesday, this is also Transformation Tuesday. And I just wanted to share with you all some of my transformation. And it's kind of like a little mini slideshow here, just where I was at when I started and where I'm at now. And hopefully I'll be able to do it again in a few months where you can see the difference between where I am now and where I'll be by then, basically. And like, even with this one here, like, okay, of course you can't see that I have like rock hard abs or anything. Cause I may have some under the fat layers there, and I'm comfortable with discussing that. Whenever, fat is also called adipose tissue. The belly fat, I believe that area is also referred to as visceral fat, because a lot of that fat surrounds your organs. So if you can really, even though belly fat is the hardest to lose, if you can like lose belly fat, you're really making great progress in your health journey, because the more you reduce your belly fat, you're reducing your risk of heart disease, you're reducing your risk of having a heart attack, and so many other, even diabetes. There's so many health risks that you're reducing by just simply losing belly fat. And this one here, actually this one on the right, the photo on the left was taken in 2016, but my weight was still about the same. Basically, I wasn't really losing or gaining, or if I did, I was, kind of losing the same 15 pounds over and over again. But that one is actually in 2016, but, and the one on the left, that was like at the beginning of this year. So you can see that there was a dramatic change. I believe at that time I had lost 50 pounds, I believe, by then. Yeah, it was roughly, because when I first went to the doctor in December, I had lost 45, and so by the time New Year's came around, I had lost 50 altogether. So, and this was another one. Actually, this one is from February 2018. The picture on the right is like, that's the night I went to go see Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. But I went to go see Black Panther that night, and, I was like, you don't need to take, I'm trying to take more pictures now, because I realize how important it is to document your progress. And just to, see where you've come, how far you've come from where you were, basically. And that's really that's where I've really gotten motivated, because as I'm actually seeing the results of my efforts, because of course, as you all know, I went through a long period of time where I wasn't really seeing many results. But now that I'm actually seeing the results of my efforts, I'm going to make sure I document the hell out of it. And like, yes, you can see, because like, within the past, I would say since probably early March, I really stepped up my, strength training game, started lifting weights more. And you can see that, compared to the picture from November 2017, how much more it looks like I've, tightened up a lot more, and like my stomach isn't sagging or hanging as much. Everything's starting to pull inward and get more toned, and I'm like I said, of course you don't, it's not like I have hard abs there, but what I'm really trying to capture in that picture was the progress that's been made. And even with this one, the progress that I've made from the time the picture was taken till now. And trust that it was a process. Nothing happened overnight at all. But again, I believe that, once you make up your mind that you're going to get healthier stuff, take pictures throughout your journeys, especially as you're progressing. And even keep a picture of say if maybe you have a picture of yourself, like a full body shot from when you were 25 and you were in way better shape. Use that as motivation. And I know another thing that had helped for me as well is that once I started really making up my mind that I was gonna get healthier and lose weight and all this stuff and eat right, I get your friends on social media in on it too. Hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I would really appreciate your encouragement. Or we could go in this together, and all of us take pictures of ourselves as we're progressing. And another thing that goes on to another thing that's helped me a lot too, to stay motivated and stay on course. And this will be a brief show tonight. I think next week we're probably going to discuss blood sugar. And this isn't just a show for people that are diabetic or, whatever, that have been diagnosed with diabetes. Because what a lot of people do not know is the fact that even though you've never been diagnosed as being diabetic, that doesn't mean you're not on the path to being diabetic or having diabetes. And I know myself, I had bought a glucometer back in May, and I've learned just so much. And it's actually helped me really refine what I eat even more so in my, in my efforts. And, but yeah, I've learned so much by just using this glucometer and learning how my body responds or how my blood sugar responds, better yet, when I eat certain foods, and how my body responds when I eat foods after a certain time and everything. For instance, I've noticed with myself is that if I eat, especially if it's some carbs, but if I, which, usually only carbs I do eat for at least from Monday through Friday, well, Monday through Thursday, that is vegetables. But, you'll be sometimes even when I eat just meat, if I eat it, say right at 7 or a little bit after 7, then my blood sugar may be a little bit higher when I wake up the next morning. So I've really been watching that and just experimenting with my own body and figuring out what works for me as far as keeping my blood sugar in a healthy range. I'm not diabetic, and I have never been diagnosed or even been diagnosed being pre-diabetic. But since it runs in my family, on both sides of my family, I made my mind up to be proactive in tracking that. But we will discuss that in next week's episode. We'll talk about blood sugar more, because even if you're not diabetic, and even if it doesn't run in your family, your blood sugar is something that is very important to know where you're at with that, because that will either help or hurt or hinder your weight loss efforts. And I love this meme here. No matter how slow you go, you're still lapping everybody on the couch. And that's another thing too, because when I first started working out, and mind you, there's a lake close to my apartment. It's 9 miles all the way around it. And when I first started, I think I started going to it back in July. And at that time, I was kind of going through some things outside of that as well. I was just going through a lot of personal stuff that, everybody goes through at some point. And really, I just went out to the lake because, see, by nature, I'm a country girl. And whenever I go to this lake that's close to my apartment, it is it's so, just being close to there's something just relaxing and serene and calming about being close to the water. And I just loved it. And whenever, first I kind of really just started going out to the lake to clear my mind. And, but then when I found out how big it was, I was like, I kind of casually said it, but then it became an ultimate goal for me, and my ultimate fitness goal, that one of these days I was going to walk that entire 9-mile lake. And I did it. But where I started at, rewinding back even further than July of last year, is that I initially started out just walking around my apartment. I have a fitness tracker. Again, we're going to get to the fitness tracker in just a second. But my fitness tracker would tell me, how far I walked and how many miles and so forth, so that I would know, okay, after I've walked this many times around the apartment, that's a mile. If I do this many times, that's 2 miles. So I started out just simply walking around my apartment first and getting in, walking that way. And I would get on the treadmill some, but I really didn't like the treadmill at that time because the treadmill was just boring to me. And at that time I hadn't thought of a way to make it fun, but now I know of a way to make it fun. But I just started out really slow. I didn't, I wasn't like, I didn't go in all gun ho and all guns ablazing when it came to exercising. I started out kind of slow with that. I kind of progressively made it more challenging as my body was, telling me that I could do more. So, but, I made it a point to make to kind of just be upwardly mobile and progressing in my fitness. I would say every 2 weeks to either every 2 weeks or monthly. So like every 2 weeks or to a month, I was hitting a different milestone. Like when I first started walking at the park, I believe I started out only doing 3 miles. Then maybe by the next week or so, I was doing 4 miles. Then 2 weeks from that date, or maybe a month out, just depending on where my body was and how I was feeling, I would do 5 miles, and it gradually progressed to where I got up to 9 miles. Like I said again, at that time too, I was also trying to get healthy so I could lose weight for my class reunion, which was last fall. So luckily, I hit my fitness goal of walking the whole entire lake, which is 9 miles, before, I think it was like maybe 3 weeks before my class reunion, I think. But it was just I was so pumped and empowered and just motivated to stay on course because I had accomplished a major physical fitness goal that I had. And, that's one thing about it, keep your goals small, starting out, and just, don't beat yourself up. 'Cause I think that's where a lot of us fall off the bandwagon. We beat ourselves up, too easily, and make it easy for yourself in the beginning. Make it, just make it so easy in the beginning that you don't have an excuse not to do it, basically. Make it so convenient that you don't have a reason not to do it. Try to make it some kind of way to make it fun, whether that's listening to music, listen to your favorite podcast, anything. Or you could, and it doesn't even have to be walking. The only reason I'm saying walking is because walking is something that everyone can easily do, and walking is free. I mean, you walk every day anyways, but if you just try to add more onto that, that's wonderful. But walking's easy and convenient. I just like going out to the lake and doing it because it was very scenic for me. It was very calming. But just find your zen, find your happy place, a place that makes you just, like, wherever you go, it just makes you happy that you can walk around at, of course. And just go from there. And, like I was telling a friend of mine at work recently, that, because they were saying, like, after they get off of work, they're not motivated to go to the gym, but they have a pet at home. And I was telling them, well, hey, why don't you just, like, whenever you get off of work, if your dog needs to go out for a walk anyways, take him out for a little mile walk. Just start out doing that. That way you and your dog are getting some physical fitness, that you need, and then you're getting your exercise. And a mile, in the grand scheme of things, it may not sound like much, but if you haven't been doing anything and you start out doing that, you're going to, and plus you're more mindful about how you're eating is on top of that, you're going to make some headway. Or you should, assuming that there's no other underlying issues going on that I've already, discussed in other episodes, or will discuss in the future. But, it just starts with, setting small goals for yourself, and do not compare yourself to other people. That's another thing too, because I know one thing with myself, one thing I got caught up in too when I was, when I do go out to the lake, well, when I started last year, I'm not on this now though, but when I was going out to the lake last year, I mean, you would see people at various stages in their fitness. I mean, you would see all these young girls that are like, toned and, see their, they have like 8-packs already, but most of these girls are in their 20s though too. And, men that are just like, you could tell that they're already fit. And there's other people that, were, more thicker, they were overweight, maybe not obese, but they were overweight. And there's people like me, or even bigger than me, that were out there. But, in the beginning, I was somewhat self-conscious, because, you're thinking, oh, like, damn, look at them. They're all fit and ripped, and, they're running around this damn thing. And here I am barely, making it along. But don't even focus on that, because I guarantee you those people aren't thinking about you 9 times out of 10. So just, focus on, hey, I'm doing this for me. And just say to yourself, this right here, no matter how slow I'm going, I'm still lapping everybody on the couch. Because there's a lot of people, I don't care if you're 300 pounds out there at the lake. I guarantee you're somebody 300 pounds that are sitting on their couch at home watching Love and Hip Hop. So, I mean, don't, if you're going to compare yourself to others, compare yourself in a way that empowers you, not in a way that's going to make you feel worse. So, and eventually you'll, if you keep at it, if you're, if you're diligent in staying motivated and at least getting an exercise, I would say, for me on a bad, when I'm the least active now, as soon as I'm not sick or anything like that, I at least exercise 3 times a week. I try to really get in 4 to 5, but at least 3. And, and I'm talking about either doing weights and cardio or doing cardio. And when I'm talking about cardio, I'm either walking out the lake, doing 7 to 9 miles, or I'm on a treadmill doing 5 miles. For me, a mile for me and where I'm at in my fitness and where I'm, and what I'm capable of doing, a mile is like will probably be like a warm up for me basically at this point. But just start out where you're comfortable. Keep it simple. Keep it simple and keep it convenient. If you keep it so easy and simple and convenient that you don't have an excuse not to do it, you'll be successful. And but don't don't make it so easy and simple and convenient that that you get bored and you're like, the hell with this. Challenge yourself gradually, but don't expect don't expect to be, just a physical powerhouse overnight, but challenge yourself gradually, set little small goals and whatever, and celebrate your small victories and so forth. And I'm going to see if I can show this. I'm kind of having a little bit of technical issues tonight, but I'm going to see if this works. Because again, this is not going to be a long live stream tonight. And plus, whenever you have a fitness tracker, and if y'all can see this, let's see here. It's my fitness tracker. It's a Fitbit Charge 2. And I just bought this back in March, but before that, I had the Fitbit Surge. And I had that Fitbit Surge for since 2015, so I had it for 3 years. But it finally, died on me, so I now have the Charge 2. It's pretty decent. I did have to replace the band on it because the bands that they come with suck. And this one's like a metal band, so it's a lot more durable, but the actual tracker itself is pretty good. But that's what it works with the Bluetooth so that you can actually you can, plus they also have a mobile app and all that stuff, so where you can easily log your physical activity and refer back to it to see how you're progressing. But yeah, this shows your steps. This was from last Saturday, so it was just only a few days ago. And yeah, I did, for the whole entire day, I did 22,287 steps, and which I totaled 19 floors, and all of this. That doesn't mean I did 19 flights of stairs. I just the elevation, where I was almost going uphill was 19 times. And I burned 2,277 calories, and I spent 179 minutes, I guess, of activity. That's what it's talking about there. And let's see. Well, this might not be for one of 5 days. I can't remember. This might be for a different day. I thought it was for Saturday because I seen a screenshot for Saturday, but that might be a different day. But yeah, that let me see if I can find another one while y'all are looking at that one. But that's what it looks like on your the Fitbit mobile app. That's what that looks like. That's one of the screens you'll see on that. It's from October. If I looked at I think it said October of last year, but this shows the steps that I had done, so at that time, mind you, which was 12,000 the day before. That was actually on a Thursday last year in October, and that's what I did the day before. That day, by the looks of it, I probably didn't work out that day for whatever reasons. Tuesday and Monday, I can definitely tell I did work out because especially with it being over 10,000 steps for the whole day, as what it does too, whenever because by right, we should be, the American Heart Association says that we should be doing 10,000 steps a day at least to, just to have a healthy heart. So if if you go over 10,000 steps, that's even, better if you can. But yeah, that's why it puts stars there, because if you hit your goal of 10,000 steps a day, it just puts a star there. You can set it for higher if you want to, but 10,000 is pretty good for me. So yeah. But I just wanted to share that with you as well. I'm sorry that I couldn't show the actual Fitbit screen on my computer, because it gives you so much great information. But it just, again, I just wanted to just discuss how, chart again, documenting and charting your progress, taking pictures, and, just finding motivation by your progress. That your progress is what's going to keep you motivated. When you're seeing results and able to compare a picture of you this time last year and this year, you see that you definitely made significant progress. It doesn't have to be a year between. It could even be a few months or weeks in between. But just seeing the progress that you've made, is enough to keep you motivated in of itself. And even if you don't see where you've made progress, or maybe you even taken a few steps back, don't beat yourself up. Just commit yourself to doing better from this point forward. And just, that's all you can really do, because everyone falls off the bandwagon sometimes, or you may hit a plateau or whatever. But the main thing is just getting back on the saddle and, just recalibrating. Maybe there's something you may have to tweak more or whatever, or maybe it's something you need to look into more as far as doing more research, and go from there. But I hope this motivated you all tonight. And like I said, I didn't want to make this a really extremely long episode, even though it is almost like 45 minutes already. But I just really wanted to discuss that and hopefully, motivate you all. Hopefully you'll stay motivated. We're going to have more episodes about this. These are some things that I just wanted to touch on tonight. Like I said, again, next week we will be discussing blood sugar. And but yeah, and I hope you got something out of tonight's show, just about as far as staying motivated. Like I said, I'm still on this health journey and losing weight myself, and I'm in this with you all. I'm not someone like because what I don't like about some things, sometimes you'll see people giving information, like you're looking at like, has she ever been fat before in her life, other than having a baby and maybe gaining the baby weight, losing baby weight? Has she ever been like 200 plus pounds before? Or something like that, you know what I mean? But I am someone that I had a really hard struggle losing weight. And it's still a struggle, don't get me wrong. But I went through a time where I wasn't really losing like that, like I am now. And doing what I am doing now physically. I went through like years of that. And I just had to do my own research. And now that, I figured out most of the underlying causes and factors that were going on with my body. Now that I've, I'm actively working on that and fixing those things and healing, I am actually, losing weight from exercising and eating, right. So that's all I really wanted to talk with you all tonight. I will see you all next week. I hope you got something out of tonight's episode. And again, apologies for the technical issues. I'm still a rookie at this. But hopefully you all got something out of it.